invested in the effects of obesity, and the diseases caused by obesity make up the top 10 leading causes of death in the U.S. I have started my journey into the health road starting in college, but I have gone more in depth with the idea of obesity with this speech. I have been doing research on this topic since the beginning of the semester, and since then I have learned so many new facts and statistics.
After studying this topic for the last week, researching and looking through research papers, I've learned a lot on how obesity impacts this country and its individuals.
I've studied both wellness and nutrition, both in high school and in college, and I've also been fascinated about the obesity problem in the United States. In order to lower obesity rates, we need to make healthy food more accessible and also have a better physical education. First, I will talk about the probable causes of obesity. Hathaway will then talk about some of the effects, and then Joshua will finish off with how we should solve this problem. So how did we end up here with 30% of American citizens being obese? The main cause of obesity is the imbalance of calories in versus calories out. This balance is crucial since the excess will be stored as fatty tissue. According to a study by Lee from 2015, daily caloric intake has increased with 23% from 1970 to 2008. These extra 507 calories each day leads to a gain of weight of almost 52 pounds in 1 year. One reason to this caloric intake increase is the portion size. What is considered normal portion size has changed over the years, and according to Urban from 2016, 92% of restaurants serve meals that exceed this caloric intake. Another reason is the amount of fast food that we're eating. Washington Post states that it has increased from 3 to 13% in 30 years. That was the calories in. Let's talk about the calories out. The lack of exercise and our sedentary lifestyle obviously leads to a decrease of burned calories. And an average American should each week perform 2 hours and 30 minutes of aerobic activities and do muscle strengthening activities twice. This is according to 2008 Physical Guidelines for Americans. And according to State of Obesity, 80% of Americans do not meet these recommendations. Those were the main causes of obesity. I will now give the word to Hathaway, who's going to talk about the effects it has not only on your body, but also on your wallet.
In adults, obesity is linked to an increased risk of heart disease, chronic conditions, certain cancers, type 2 diabetes, and also high blood pressure. In children, obesity can add up to these problems often for life. Although obesity can lead to these problems, it doesn't mean that if someone is obese, they will automatically obtain one of these diseases. It all depends on your family's history and also where the weight is located. According to the National Institutes of Health, obesity and overweight together are the second leading cause of preventable death in the United States, close behind tobacco use, taking an estimated 300,000 lives per year. The Nurses' Health Study followed 114,000 middle-aged women for 14 years and found that the risk of developing type 2 diabetes was 93% higher in women with a BMI of 35 or higher. With a healthy BMI, which is 18.5 to 25, that percentage dropped to 9% to 21%. The United States is also spending an outrageous amount of money on obesity-related diseases, when the solution could be as simple as lowering obesity rates to the national average, saving this country millions. According to healthycommunities.healthyfutures.org, the estimated annual healthcare costs are a staggering $190.2 billion a year. That is 21% of the annual medical spending in the United States. Childhood obesity alone is responsible for $14 billion of that $190.2 billion. If obesity rates were to remain at the 2010 levels, the savings for medical expenditures would be $549.5 billion in direct medical costs. These topics that I just discussed are the effects of obesity. I will now hand it over to Joshua, who will discuss how accessibility to healthy foods and also physical education are great solutions to obesity.
So the first solution that we have is the access to healthy foods. Aiding your body with healthy, nutritious food will prevent health complications from the impact of obesity. By making healthy foods more accessible, people will be more willing to get these foods and maintain a healthy diet. If healthy alternative foods were cheaper, it would help people try to switch over. Organic foods, on average, can be 47% more expensive compared to their counterparts, according to Todd Marks in 2015. A way to help make these foods, such as organic foods, less expensive is to have the government subsidize them. Currently, according to Mandy Oaklander in 2016, the government is subsidizing many unhealthy food manufacturers. Another issue with making healthy food more accessible is simply making it easier to get. With this obstacle, many families can't get the food they need to live a healthy lifestyle. A research done by the Food Trust shows that 25 to 30 million Americans living in communities do not provide access to healthy food retailers such as grocery stores or even supermarkets. That's nearly 1/10 of our population. Next, I'm going to talk about the need for physical education. Teaching and instructing on what the body needs, why it needs it, and why having healthy food improves body function and why that's all important. Schools need to step up their roles in helping combat childhood obesity. Cole and Cook states in their book, Educating the Student Body, that by adding just 60 minutes of physical education can lower the probability of obesity rates in 5th grade boys by 4.8%. They also said in the same study in 2001 that 44% of all students cut the physical activity time significantly. Adults, too, fall short when it comes to nutritional knowledge. Most adults fail to meet the recommended daily values of 10 key nutrients in a new study by Diana Yates. Some examples of these nutritional shortcomings are that 11.33% of people do not meet the daily recommended fiber, and only 4.7% get the daily potassium needed. With better adult education, hopefully these numbers can improve and awareness of this problem will spread. Today, we've talked about why we need to have healthy foods to be more accessible and have a better physical education. The main reasons for obesity is the increased risk of portion size and also the amount of fast food we eat as Americans. It is also due to the lack of exercise, whereas only 80% meet the recommendations. The effects of obesity are all the obesity-related diseases that are tied to it and the billions of dollars we spend as individuals on medical expenses for these diseases. Solution to these problems is making healthy foods more accessible and having more physical education provided for youth and adults. Take 30 minutes to prepare a good, healthy meal. Spend a little extra time at the supermarket to get the fresh food instead of riding the bus or driving your car to work or school. Ride a bike. All of these things are great ways to keep your body healthy. Take the steps and do your part in helping our country lower its obesity rates.